Hey, listen, if you want to drive views on YouTube, if you're struggling, well, I want to talk about what some of the common struggles are and how to stop. Like, boom, right now, how to stop struggling. You dig?
Brian G. Johnson.
Hey, it's Brian G. Welcome to the channel. To grow your channel, to drive more views, to amplify your income, consider subscribing. And if you really want to jumpstart your channel, check out my free YouTube Masterclass, link in the description. Barry says he struggles with sounding boring and trying to get what I want to say to come across. Look, you can do that, Barry. And if you're struggling watching this video too, if you're trying to get your point across and not being boring, tell yourself every single time you film to be clear. Tell yourself to create an engaging experience for the viewers watching. And when you do that, right, when you really make sure you're remembering to speak clearly and to be engaging, write yourself a note. Just grab, this is a pad of paper. All you got to do is just write yourself a note and then put it somewhere where you're going to see it. Be clear. Speak with an engaging voice. Make it easy for people to understand. When you do that and you keep publishing videos, see, here's where it gets hard. See, a lot of people, that'll stop them. And they won't publish enough videos to actually practice. That's why you gotta publish 1 or 2 videos a week. Oh, and if you're stuttering, do the exact same thing. Here's a really popular one. How do I come up with creative ideas? Again, first, if you're not publishing on a regular basis, it's harder because you're unsure and you question. The thing is I bet you have ideas about ideas, right? Coming up with ideas. But sometimes what we do is we sabotage ourselves and we second guess. That sounds boring. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too dyslexic. Man, I make so many mistakes. But I keep doing it and it helps me to move forward. Here's a thing you can do. Watch videos on coming up with video ideas. Even better, just decide you're gonna create videos on one particular subject. Because once you decide, once you choose a niche, if you're passionate about painting, create videos about painting, or psychology, or art, or anything that you can create videos about, like where do you live? Create videos on that. You see, once you decide, it's easier to come up with ideas because you're moving forward in a direction and that will help you. John mentions coming up with the right space, and that can be really challenging when you got kids or a small apartment, but if you do this, you'll find the right space. Check it out. Thing you want to do again is to promise yourself you're publishing 1 or 2 videos a week, because when you do that, you'll get in the habit of overcoming. See, that's really the problem here, is we're not overcoming our struggles. I have tried to film videos. This is my 3rd day. 3 days in a row. Day 1, I sucked. My delivery sucked. I sounded horrible. I deleted everything and I started again. Day number 2, I forgot to really dial in my shutter speed. And you see those lights back there? Check this out. If I increase my shutter speed, there we go, to 1/50, I probably have a little bit more of a flashing kind of light going on. I don't like that. It bugged me. So I deleted everything. No problem. The day was young. I was ready to film again. And then I had these dudes across the way and their construction and their machines and their air compressors. So I woke up today early. This is really the tip I want to share with you. This is horrible. You might not have even noticed, but I did, and it stopped me. See, that's the thing. We stop ourselves. The audience isn't looking for perfection. They want what you have to offer. So don't deprive the audience of what they want because you're up in your own head. Find a place, make a video, do the best you can, and then strive to improve. And if you're trying to find the right space, film in different locations and at different times. Right now, I have been filming since 6 a.m. in the morning. Why? Because those construction workers, they're not on the job yet, but I am, because this is my livelihood. This matters to me a lot. It's what I got to do to move forward and drive those views. I mean, you want those views, right? Alex Strodos, and I apologize, says time, ideas, and struggling to find the mindset to record in. And see, that's just the thing. I go right back to gotta be publishing 1 or 2 videos a week, because when you commit to that, it will force you to be okay with where you're at. The reality of your starting and the ideas in your head are much more elaborate and amazing than what you're actually able to create. See, that's the struggle. What we picture in our mind, what we see, we're not actually quite able to make until we publish on a regular basis. Now, here's a hack that will help you overcome the struggle and the mindset. Decide that this day on Saturday at 9 a.m. I'm recording no matter what. And then this is what you do. You march down, and at 9 a.m. you get started and you set up the camera. And you start and you work and you keep moving forward no matter what. Because when you do that, your mind is focused on the act of making a video. And when you're focused on making a video, you don't have the space in your mind to worry. I dare you to do that. Just make a date and time and promise yourself you're going to get started. And then do not pause. Do not think about it, because if you think about it, there's a really good chance you're going to pause. I mean, you want to move forward with YouTube, right? If you do this, I guarantee you're going to get over it. You're going to teach yourself how to overcome the struggle we all experience as human beings. I just feel I should keep that in, because see, I'm a human too, and I make mistakes. And right now everything looks pretty good, but God knows that probably I'll see something I don't like, and that may cause me to stop. It may cause me to pause. And that moment you pause, you are in danger. I cannot tell you how many times I've made a video and then I'm like, woo, you're going to publish that video? It's really going to trigger people. What are they going to think of you? See, this is our primitive monkey brain telling us to stop because we don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to have people tell us we're not good enough. But you have to pause that part of your brain, the monkey brain, the primitive brain. And if you don't, it will win and you won't move forward and you won't achieve your dreams. And you know what? I want good things for you. Do not pause and get started in the process. And when you do that, big things. What if you do? See, that's my dyslexia. It kicks my ass all day long, but you know what? I do not let it pause me. I move forward. I'm too old for YouTube. My demographic, most of them are less than 30 years old. I'm going to be 55 in a few weeks. So what? This is our next tip. This is from Jim. He says, energy. I need more energy. Yes, I totally agree. And I know you can increase it, but you have to make it easy for yourself to do that. So what do? First, you jump around a lot. You get yourself psyched. You get your heart beating a little bit, because what that does is it's going to remove some of the nerves and it's going to allow you to get out of that mindset where you feel like everything is closing in, which is good. Then, again, this piece of paper, right? You write yourself a note to speak with more enthusiasm. Just put energy on the notepad and then you paste this somewhere where you see it every single day. You really want to crush YouTube? Write yourself 6 notes. Note number 1, energy. Note number 2, energy. Note number 3, energy. Note number 1 goes on your bathroom mirror. Note number 2 goes where you eat your meals. So you keep seeing it, so you remind yourself to speak with energy. And then here's the thing. Here's a really powerful tip. Give yourself a frickin' break. If you're just getting started with this YouTube thing, which means if you've got anything less than 100 videos published to your channel, you're getting started. You cannot expect yourself to be awesome early. Do you remember the first time you rode a bike? It was a freaking tricycle. A tricycle. And then when you graduated, you're a pretty badass, so you upgraded to a bike. You had a regular bike. But wait, what were these ridiculous things on the back? Those are called training wheels. Why? Because you're training. It's the same thing on YouTube. Do not expect to have the discipline, the energy, the charisma, the ability to speak clearly like I do when I've done this for many, many, many years. I've practiced. And you know what? I'm so much better today than when I got started. And I guarantee if you do what I'm sharing in this video, you are gonna crush it. Vignac mentions a quiet environment to record in. Again, I got started today at 6 a.m. If you're getting started and people are just waking up and seeming to make more noise when you get started, rearrange your schedule. Do whatever you can to make it possible to find that quiet space. Ask people you live with, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your poodle, your goldfish. Ask people for their support. Say, hey, you know what? I need like an hour, 90 minutes. If I could have a little quiet time, it would really help me out. I promise, if you do this, if you make this a priority, you can reduce the noise around you. So what you really want to do is be okay with that. If there are birds chirping outside your door, I promise you, viewers are not going to care. What's happening probably, if we're honest, and is that okay? Can we just be really honest, like you and me right now, talking about the internal struggle that we all experience as YouTube creators? The real problem is it triggers us and it makes us freak out. Me too. It's really hard. Again, I'm on day 3 trying to film videos, but I'm slaying it right now. And my fingers are crossed that these videos look good, sound good, and I can edit and I can publish. And here's another hack. When you do this, always be writing down ideas. And see, this is what's so weird to me is I talk about a lot of these same strategies, but people come in and out so fast that a lot of people don't do this. You always want to have a stack of video ideas, and you want to practice making videos on a regular basis. Because when you do that, you're going to get to the point where all you need is a few ideas, a topic, and you can just turn on the camera and you can go and you can make pretty good videos. So what do? When it's quiet, you don't film 1, you film 2 or 3. But don't worry about that if you haven't filmed 1 video every week for months. That's the first step. The baby step is to take off the training wheels. How do you take off the training wheels? Well, you start by promising yourself 1 video every week to practice the art of being a YouTuber. And then over time, you'll let go of the things that trigger you mentally, and you'll be awesome. What do you do if it's the weather that stops you from making videos? Like you need to go outside on the right kind of day so you can film, you can talk, you can capture the video, and then you can edit and publish. You do this. When you make the video on the nice day, you keep filming and you basically film yourself just doing stuff like this. And outside walking, kind of like this. And you create some B-roll of leaves and branches and sunrises and anything that's pretty outside. Or maybe your videos are about cars. So what do? You film B-roll of cars, but you don't speak, because what you want to do is you want to set yourself up to be able to film just like I am right now, indoors. Just buy a cheap light. You can get a cheap light. If you really want to do YouTube, here's what's going to happen. You're going to publish 1 or 2 videos a week like I'm mentioning. You're going to get better. You're going to get monetized. And once you get monetized, you can buy a light and a microphone and a better camera, and you can upgrade and increase your quality and so on. And then when the weather sucks outside, what do? You sit down in front of the camera, you think about the topic you want to cover, you record the video, and then you take the B-roll from outside and you lay it over the top. That is how you overcome. The real problem with all these struggles is we let them stop us as creators. The thing we have to do is learn to somehow adapt and overcome. Listen, if you're like, oh, I know, but there's this thing and I can't. Yes, you can, but you just have to want it bad enough to push yourself out of that comfort zone. Your mind wants you to stay comfortable. It's much more comfortable watching TV and other people's videos than it is to put yourself on camera and to make it happen. But the fact is, if you want YouTube for real, if you want to be full-time, if you want to earn money, if you want a big audience, woohoo, big audience, you gotta make it happen somehow, some way. And I know you have the mental capacity to make that a reality, so do it. Here's another YouTuber who mentions talking in front of the camera. Just do it. Start doing it, and then you're focused on that, and you're not thinking and worrying and getting uptight and getting triggered and getting overly thoughtful on just how much you suck at talking. Because the fact of the matter is, early when we get started, we don't have that ability. We're just getting started. But if you promise yourself to practice, if you put up that note to get better with your delivery, you will. I promise you. Know that at any moment you can stop and you can start again. When you make a mistake, stop and then start that section of the video again. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just looking at these comments. I'm looking at these common struggles and I'm responding one at a time. And when I mess up, when I make mistakes, I stop and I start again. Nobody cares if you stop. The only thing they care about is what you publish. Here's a trick. When you do this early, right? When you've done it and you've published 50 videos, that's 5 and a 0, 50 videos, it's gonna feel like you're not gonna be able to succeed because you haven't yet, you've just started. It's gonna feel really uncomfortable making so many mistakes. But if you stick with it, what happens is you realize my process is that I'm human and I'm not the greatest, but I'm gonna keep going, and it's okay if I screw up because I've got this powerful method. I stop and then I start again. Tell yourself to get to the point and you will. The thing you gotta do is you can't give up. You have to be willing to make the videos and publish them, and you've got to be willing to put yourself out there, and that's what's hard, right? For all of us, it's hard to put ourselves out there. Right now, if you're like, but I can't, or I don't have, or it's not possible, yes, it is. Please, I beg you, because I want good things for you. If you want to succeed, do the best you can with what you got. And if you publish regularly and you keep trying to improve, your videos will improve. And then you will get monetized. And then you will be able to buy the equipment you need and want, like lighting. This is the box that little light came in. And frankly, I got this for free because companies send me stuff now because I didn't let my monkey brain rule me. I did the best I could early, and like some of my early videos are so cringy, but I published them anyway. This phone recorded a video outside with no lights, with just a cheap little tripod, and that video has over 750,000 views. How did I do it? I did the best I could with what I had. I learned all I could about YouTube, and I kept moving forward. You can do the same. Don't tell yourself, no, I can't. Yes, you can. You just have to tell your brain to shut up! So do this. If you want to drive more views to the videos you publish, check out the video on the screen right now. The video has driven hundreds of thousands of views in just a few months based on the strategies that I use. You can too. Click and watch, and when you do, yeah, you'll get the views, but you're gonna feed a poodle. I've got 2 poodles and they're hungry. You dig?